Hey guys, Dr. J here in the lab. Today we are going to talk about data collection for our inclined plane mini lab, okay? So let's take a look. So today we're doing something a little bit different, and I'm gonna give you your lab procedure here in a Google Doc, okay? So let's just see how it goes. I think this will save you some time in the lab. So here's our full procedure, okay? So it looked kind of long. We're gonna go through every step of it here, and I'll show you how to do everything you're gonna need to do, okay? Because you're gonna have this procedure, and you're gonna make a copy of this spreadsheet, okay? So let's rock and roll. So number one, it says measure the length in centimeters of your metal ramp, okay? And then convert that length to meters by multiplying by 1 meter per 100 centimeters. Okay, so let's take a look. So first off, let's just look at our lab supplies here for the day, all right? So what we have is, and this box of protractors is for me. So what you're gonna get is, you're gonna get your golf ball, you got your ramp right here, you got your block, okay, to support the ramp. You're gonna have a ruler, all right, and you're gonna have a protractor. And we're gonna use all of these in this demo video. So let's talk about how we do all these things. So the first thing is to measure the length of your metal ramp. Okay, so first order of business, I got this metal ramp here. I'm gonna measure it. So this ruler, I have to be sure to start when so let me just go ahead and stop the screen share so I can do this measurement. So with this ruler, I gotta start from like not the full bottom of the ruler here because there's no marking there, but I gotta, since I'm measuring in meters or centimeters, I gotta start at the 0. So I put that little 0 right at the end of my metal ramp. Okay, I put the 0 right there. Then I notice that the ruler, it runs all the way to 30. Okay, it goes to 30 right here. So I'm gonna put my thumb there where the 30 was, okay? Then I'm gonna move the ruler and put the 0 there. So now I'm gonna have 30 for this particular ramp, 30, so I can get this right, 30 plus 16, okay? 30 plus 16, well, that's 46, okay? 46 centimeters, all right? For this particular metal ramp is 46 centimeters. They're all slightly different lengths, all right? So let's go back to the spreadsheet here. All right, so I got 46 centimeters. I'm gonna divide that by 100, okay, to get my meters. So 46 centimeters, that's gonna give me 0.46 meters, all right? So the height of the ball, all this stuff has to be done in meters, okay? And so let me fix these little things here. Length of the ramp in meters, and then et cetera, et cetera. So let me go ahead and move that. Let me open that. And then I'll go ahead and switch these. Since I'm doing this, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. Let's just leave it like it was then. So the length of the ramp for me was 0.46 meters. And what I'm gonna do is, let me blow this thing up really quickly so you can see. So the length of my ramp was 0.46 meters. Okay, 46 centimeters times 1 meter per 100 centimeters is gonna give me 0.46 meters. And the ramp's length is never gonna change for my day. So I drag from this little square guy all the way down and I get 0.46 in all those cells. Let me show you that again. So in order to copy this value into all these cells below, okay, if I want to copy, what I have to do is I have to go ahead and click on this little square guy here and then drag the little square fellow, okay, downward. And if I drag downward, all right, I'll put that value in every single cell, okay? So I click right here and I drag downward, boom, okay, done. All right, and so so let's go back to our procedure. So it says, set up your ramp in the low block configuration and so we're right here, set up your ramp in the low block configuration and use the protractor to measure the angle that the ramp makes with the table. Okay, so this angle should be less than 90 degrees. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up and measure our angle. Okay, so let's do this here. So I got my low block configuration. Let me fix this guy here. All right, so I'm gonna set it up in the low block configuration. That means that this block is positioned like this, not like this. This is the high block. This is for the low block, okay? So boom, now I gotta go ahead and I gotta measure my angle. Okay, well, how am I gonna do that? So I can't use my ruler for that. What I've got to use is my protractor. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put this protractor so that basically this little point from the ruler goes like right there in the protractor. Do you see the little point from the ruler? The end of the ruler is just right in that little like cup of the protractor right there. Okay, I put it right there. Or some of these protractors have these little holes. You want this little part of your ruler here to be right in the little, like this little corner of your ruler to be right on this little hole in the protractor. So your ruler, sorry, your ramp has a corner. I said ruler, I meant ramp. Your ramp has this little corner. You want to put the little ramp corner right on this little crosshair for the protractor, okay? So you position that one just so, and I guess that one's a little bit hard to do. I'd have to like lift this thing up a little bit. So I try to keep it flat to the table as best I can, and I get my degree measurement. And this is hard to position. So let me see if I can get this just right. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Oh, actually, maybe. I got this little stool here that might help me. Okay. Let's see if this gets the job done. Yeah, that should do the trick. Good. So now I've got my camera right at the table level, so you can really see clearly what I do. So in this case, my protractor is a little bit, so I try to hold the protractor up so it's flat relative to the table. And then that's going to allow me to read, okay? And when I read the angle here, let me pull the computer or the camera a little closer, okay? When I read, my degree measure, okay, is between 5 and 10 degrees. So 10 degrees are, this is 20, this is 10, and this little ramp is going in between the 5 and the 10. I'm going to call that 7.5 degrees. Okay, in fact, this one's hard. If I use this one, it's actually a little bit easier. That one gives me a pretty solid, how many degrees is that? That's right around 7 degrees, okay? That's around 7 degrees. I mean, that's the best I can do. These angle measurements, just like all the other measurements that we take here, they're not gonna be perfect, okay? So let me put 7 degrees into my spreadsheet. So I've done this measurement and I found that the incline is 7 degrees. And that's gonna be good for my first 3 trials, okay? So I can drag this down for the first 3 trials, all right, 7 degrees, because I'm gonna repeat this 3 times. Now, let me go ahead and put my ball at the top of the ramp. So these are pretty standard measurements that we've done before, okay? So I'm gonna put my ball at the top of the ramp here. Golf ball goes right here, really at the very edge of the ramp. So I wanna keep that golf ball really at the edge of this ramp, okay? Right at the edge here. And then I'm gonna measure the height of the bottom of the golf ball. So the very bottom of the golf ball is right about, I'm gonna call that 6.8 centimeters above the ground, okay? 6.8 centimeters above the, sorry, not above the ground, but above the table. So 6.8 centimeters above the table. So divide that by 100, okay? That's 0.068 meters, okay? And again, that height is gonna be good for these first 3 measurements, all right? Now all I've gotta do is get my time of descent, okay? So let's go ahead and see that measurement take place, all right? So I'll put this box of protractors over here to keep the ball from rolling off the table. Let me push this down a little, all right? So here we go. And then I'll use my stopwatch on my little timer on my phone. Boom, boom, boom. Stopwatch, there we go. Okay, and since I'm the guy who's dropping this ball, I'm the guy who's doing the timing, I go right to the end of the ramp, okay? Not so far that it would like fall off, but right to the end. And then I simultaneously start my timer and I let go of the ball. And as soon as it gets to the end, I stop and I get a time of 1.14 seconds, okay? Let's try it again. 1.14 was the first. Ready, go, go. 1.25 is the second for me. And then I go again, ready, go, go. 1.18. Okay, so those were my three values, okay? Those were my three values. Let's get them on that spreadsheet before I forget them. All right, so I had 1.14, 1.25, I believe, and then 1.18. Okay, I think I remember those correctly. So now what we have to do from this point is repeat this for the high block configuration and then a totally vertical configuration. And so I'm just going to show you those two configurations, and then you'll be ready to collect your data. Okay, so let's take a look. So the high block configuration, of course, is, let me angle this computer or this camera down. The high block configuration just looks like this, right? So you're pretty familiar with this. You know, you've done this before. Okay, here's your high block configuration, and sometimes it requires some effort to keep the ramp from falling over, but there's your high block configuration. Okay, and you're going to time the ball as it descends from that height. Okay, you're going to do that 3 times, and you're of course going to measure the height. Okay, and measure the angle, and then here you're just going to go ahead and set this up just at a 90-degree angle with respect to the table. And it doesn't always, like this one wants to lie at, you see, this one like kind of naturally doesn't want to be at a full 90 degrees, so you might have to tilt it a little bit to get it to 90 degrees. But you can use your protractor to make sure it's you know, I'll show you the protractor to make sure it's at a proper 90-degree angle. That means, you know, coming straight up from the table. And then literally you're just going to time how long it takes for the ball to drop from right here. So half the ball is above the ramp, half the ball is in the ramp. And you just time how long it takes for the ball to hit the table. Ready, go. And so it's a really quick timing procedure. Ready, go, right? And so you're just gonna have to be really careful with that timing. And definitely for that one, and I'll show you the little hint, okay? For that particular measurement, it says here, hint, okay? This trial should work best if the person who's dropping the ball is also operating the timer. Okay, so that's the big hint there, all right? So that's our lab procedure for the day. We may not get through all of it. You may have some data to collect next time, okay? And that's totally fine, all right? So that should be a lot of fun though. I hope everybody enjoys collecting the data. And as always, good luck and may the forces be with you.